Because frankly, which is a word that Donald Trump likes to use a lot, and strangely that guy on the phone used as well, frankly. Say what you will about it. Amanda, I'd like to draw your attention to other tape today. Donald Trump was asked by George Stephanopoulos on Good Morning America today a very simple question with regard to the tax returns that Donald Trump says he won't release because he's being audited. Have a listen to that exchange.
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business. You'll see it when I release. But I fight very hard to pay as little tax as possible.
Amanda, what is your tax rate? None of your business. Is it our business?
I mean, I think it is. Every other presidential candidate has made these disclosures. Of course, Donald Trump is free not to do it, but he's going to continue to get questions, especially if he wants to make tax reform a central issue. Offering these tax disclosures is a sign of good faith to the voters. This is how I've made my money. This is how I've conducted my life. He's been unwilling to go under that vetting process. And the thing that sort of really boggles my mind between the tax returns and this issue of whether or not it's fair for Washington Post reporters to go look at these audio tapes is that, you know, a lot of Republicans, conservatives went crazy because they didn't feel like Obama was vetted enough during his presidential campaign. This is what the vetting process is. It's looking at how you've conducted your public life, and if you haven't been in office a long time, we need to look at your businesses. That's what people want to see the tax returns for. And then also, Donald Trump, how have you conducted yourself as a public figure? Did you misrepresent yourself to make your divorce look better in the papers? This is a central question to his relationships with women. And I agree, tabloid fodder, really, who cares if it was 25 years ago? But are you lying about it right now? And if you're not lying, then produce this PR figure that you hired and apparently trusted enough to discuss your divorce with the press. If he can't do that, then I think that makes it clear what's going on.
Yeah, because John Miller, John Barron shouldn't be too hard to find. Obviously, he's a big supporter of Donald Trump, big fan of Donald Trump, says he knows him really, really well. It's possible he's still around. Either of those two people, I don't know which one it was. I know you're laughing, Jeffrey Lord. And sometimes we have to laugh until we cry, because this is the President of the United States. This isn't a who's going to win Survivor. It's not going to be who wins the
well,
you know, the
I would be less
shows.
concerned about this than if the Secretary of State was lying about Benghazi, to be perfectly candid.
And that's going to be another segment as well, and there have been many segments about it. But I do have to ask you, is it not our business? Because for the last 40 years, Amanda said all presidents, just in the last 40 years, which is a lifetime for many of us, every president has done it.
Speak for yourself,
and
Ashley.
it does. Well, God bless you. But definitely more than my lifetime. So my issue is that those tax returns will tell us a lot about whether Donald Trump tells the truth. If we're going to move beyond these tapes, the tax returns will tell us that. And every other candidate and president has agreed. Why is he different?
Ashley, yeah, I have to say, in thinking about this, Donald Trump or anyone else, frankly, I just think that this is a worthless exercise. It has only been done for 40 years. In other words, we had plenty of presidents of the United States up until I think Richard Nixon was the first that had to do this. And in the sort of post-Watergate atmosphere, I just think that, you know, who cares at this point? This is not in the Constitution. This is not a qualification to be president. I don't really care what anybody's taxes are.
I'm just going to say that. Look, I think crime is bad, puppies are sweet, and that it is important to be honest if you are a president. Errol, quick last
word. Especially if you're, never mind 40 years ago, in the last 40 days, if you're going to be a candidate who runs around talking about lying Ted and crooked Hillary and saying the press is dishonest and casting aspersions on everybody else's statements, you should be willing to take a little bit of what you're giving out and answer some questions and be truthful for a change.
And Errol, I'm just going to add to that, Jeffrey, that Donald Trump sells himself on the campaign trail regularly as being a very astute businessman. So I think it's only fair for us to see for ourselves if it's just what he says or if it's what he does.
Is the IRS and the politicization of the IRS. And there's all kinds of people. I mean, the whole Lois Lerner episode pictures the IRS as a very political agency.
15 years of politicization of the IRS, he's not releasing any of them. I think we could go back and forth on this all day. I adore all three of you, and I absolutely love having you on the program, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.